Collins running out of real estate. Heads back upfield. 25 to the 30. The 35 to 40. The 45 to 50. He has only Kovalevsky to beat. Gets through him. The 10 and touchdown for Collins.
Duarte looks to throw. He fires toward the goal line. And that is caught by Kadeem Wilson for a game-winning Gators touchdown.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead, and the Props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Sends one on goal and he scores! Jonah Copray scores for the second time tonight.
And it is a power play goal. The pressure is there. Wilson putting it in the end zone. It is up for grabs. Did someone come down with it? No, incomplete. The Pharaohs are the 2022 EFA champions.
Live from Great Kills Little League in Staten Island, New York, the PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of the 2023 New York State Little League Baseball Championship. Tonight, we conclude our Day 1 coverage here at Great Kills with our fourth and final game of the day as Penfield Little League hosts East Greenbush-Castleton Little League. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Bavona. And Nick, I think we had a bit of a technical glitch that bumped us off the air a few moments ago, but we are back. Starting lineups are being introduced out on the field, but ahead of tonight's game, as the introductions did take quite some time ahead of Game 1, let's talk about Game 1 just a bit. It was a 5-2 victory for Massapequa Coast.
It was a wild game towards the end of that one for Massapequa Coast, and they were able to hold on despite almost blowing a 4-0 lead. Able to hold on at the final day, winning 5-2 over Saratoga Springs. Harrison Smith was huge for them on the mound in relief, getting them out of a jam in the bottom of the fifth inning, was able to hold on to that lead and give Massapequa Coast the win. They now start 1-0 in this tournament.
Out on the field, starters are being introduced for both teams, beginning, I believe, first with East the visitors.
Leading off for East Greenbush-Castleton is the shortstop, number 3, Des White. Batting second is the pitcher, number 1, Tyler Seaberger. Batting third, the center fielder, number 15, Carter LaGrave. Batting fourth, the extra hitter, number 16, Alex Therian. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 99, Tyler Charlin. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 23, Sammy Greco. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 5, Trenton Sales. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 21, Carter Snavely. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 18, Eli Parkinson. Batting 10th, the extra hitter, number 44, Henry Rounds. Batting 11th, the catcher, number 2, Jack Connolly. And batting 12th, the extra hitter, number 8, Andrew Bombard.
And Nick, as starting lineups are being introduced on the other side, why don't you introduce the starters for Penfield Little League?
For Penfield, they lead off with the center fielder, number 2, James Glenn. Batting second, the shortstop, number 24, Lucas Murray. Batting third, the third baseman, number 13, Jackson Shershin. Batting fourth, the pitcher, number 48, Micah Hiley. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 14, Cash Hogan. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 40, Zach Gutman. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 31, Jonathan Langen. Batting eighth, the extra hitter, number 50, Dominic Fontagrossi. Batting ninth, the extra hitter, number 51, Owen Dan. Batting 10th, the third baseman, number 87, George Teich. Batting 11th, the extra hitter, number 62, Blake Drews. And batting 12th, the left fielder, number 63, Nick Wright.
And Nick, going back to Game 1, the heat was a major factor. The sun has set. It is a beautiful night here at Great Kills.
There is a breeze.
And a breeze. Too. It could not be a better night for baseball here on Staten Island.
I'm starting to get a little goosebumps because of this weather, Joe. Very hot Game 1. It kind of played a factor, as we saw with the pitcher's mound when it came to home plate with that shadow. Now that shadow is no longer there, so an opportunity for these hitters to put some runs on the board and help their team go to 1-0 as they try to get to Friday in the semifinal.
Something else that we saw earlier in our first game here at Great Kills, the chance to capitalize on opportunities with runners on base. That's something that we speak about all the time when covering the game of baseball. And in Game 1, Massapequa Coast had a lot of chances with runners on base, didn't come through with the big hit past that first inning when a 3-run homer gave them the lead. But it's a testament to how well they played. It was still enough, scoring 3 in that first inning. That's all they needed as they went on to win 5-2. A very strong effort from them and a gutsy effort from Saratoga Springs National as well. They battled back, did not quit in that game, and got to within 2 runs in the 5th.
And I was going to make a comment, Joe, but I think we're about to play the national anthem.
And now, ladies and gentlemen.
And we are.
All right, so with that, we'll step aside and take a quick 1-minute break. When we come back, Penfield Little League takes on East Greenbush-Castleton Little League right here on the PDF Sports Network. And we are back here on the PDF Sports Network. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nick Bavona on the call for our 4th and final game of the day. 2 games at South Shore, 2 games here at Great Kills. The second of those 2 Great Kills matchups about to get underway. Penfield will be the home team in this game. They are out in the field. East Greenbush-Castleton at the plate to get things started here in the top half of the first inning.
Well, we saw in Game 1, we were mentioning it before we went to the break, how Massapequa Coast, they got out to an early lead with that 3-run home run in the bottom of the first inning. We're able to hold on to the final score of 5-2. Saratoga made it a game as the game went on. We talked about the amount of runners in scoring position that Massapequa Coast left on in that game, and that's something that we looked upon as we go into this game. For these 2 teams, they have to make sure that they don't leave those runners in scoring position. Otherwise, it could hurt you at the end of the day. Almost hurt Massapequa Coast in that Game 1. Hopefully, it does not happen here in Game number 2 between East Greenbush-Castleton and Penfield.
Now, I wanted to make sure we note before we get underway tonight, Nick, public address. We thought that there had to be an AI-generated Bob Shepard voice.
I for sure thought.
They have a Bob Shepard impersonator who sounds so close to the voice of Bob Shepard that we were fooled. We could not believe it when we found out there was someone up there. So a job well done on public address tonight.
Overall, great experience here at Great Kills, and we are ready for a final game of day number 1 here for this New York State Little League Baseball Championship. East Greenbush-Castleton will lead off with the shortstop, number 3, Des White, so he'll look to lead it off here.
Nick and I, tomorrow night, will be at South Shore. Dave and Andrew will be here at Great Kills. Dave and Andrew get started bright and early. I think their games are at 10 and 1. You and I at 5 and 8 again. As that pitch misses outside. First pitch of the game goes for ball 1. And we are underway from Great Kills Little League.
Another good vantage point for us, Joe, is now we could see the batter's box from here. We had a little bit of a trouble with the sun earlier, but now very clear. And what has been looks to be a gorgeous night here at Great Kills.
We can see much better, and I think these hitters can certainly see much better up at the plate. As that pitch is chased low, swung on and missed for strike 2.
I can finally see the numbers on the scoreboard, too.
We will provide you updated pitch counts. If you have a request for pitch count, throw it in the live chat. I can now read my phone on the commentary desk.
That was another problem.
I am in the live chat this game. We are monitoring the live chat. Any recommendations, concerns, questions, let us know. And we'll try and get to answering those. As that swung on and missed for strike 3. And the putout is complete over at first base for the game's first out.
Good start for Penfield right there. As Hiley gets a strikeout on the first batter of the game. And now will face his opposing pitcher today, Tyler Seaberger, for East Greenbush-Castleton.
As you said, Nick, Micah Hiley gets the start for Penfield Little League. Quickly has his first strikeout. And the first pitch to Tyler Seaberger sails up and away for ball 1. This our first look at both of these teams. Come tomorrow, I will have seen all but 2 of these teams once, as that's a nice stop over at third base on the short hop by Teich. He throws to first, and Seaberger is retired for the second out.
And we saw a lot of defense in that first game, Joe. A couple of double plays turned, which surprised us because usually when you have these games, you don't see a lot of double plays being turned. So what is seen so far in this tournament already from the 3 games, we've seen a lot of good defense from these 8 teams.
Third base, often referred to as the hot corner, Nick. I think in Little League, that becomes even more so the case. As we've seen these third basemen the last couple of games here at Great Kills, they've been so busy. Hard hit balls on a line, tough hops on the ground.
They have been on their toes.
It's been a good showing for the various third basemen who have manned the hot corner today. As the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike on Carter LaGrave. Comes the 1-1. That misses low. Once again, if the ball is hit to the outfield, Nick will attempt to operate our camera. I'll take over the replay desk. We did not have many balls hit to the outfield.
Not much.
In Game 1.
And I'm very grateful for that, Joe.
I'm sure you are. I think we have an aspiring play-by-play voice to our left, Nick.
Sounds like it.
When I was that age, I was at home playing MLB The Show,
Yep.
calling my games
Yep.
with a gaming headset on, letting everyone think I was talking to friends. I was calling my own games.
I would turn the audio off from the announcers because I didn't want anyone to talk over me.
That's right. That pitch was fouled off LaGrave's ankle.
You hope LaGrave is hurt, not hurt, but you hope he's okay here on that swing. Count now full at 3-2.
Well, you saw it on the pitcher-batter camera, but every player in the field also went down to a knee as they attended to LaGrave. A good show of sportsmanship by the Penfield players out in the field.
And that's what this tournament's all about, Joe. All about sportsmanship and teamwork. And you hope that LaGrave now is still able to stay into this game, trying to walk it off.
They'll give him all the time he needs. As right now he stands in the on-deck circle, just making his way back into the frame. And a round of applause from the spectators here at Great Kills. Still a nice crowd, as we're past 8 p.m. now on Staten Island. That pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 punch-outs in the inning for Micah Hiley. And we head to the bottom half of the first inning. No score between Penfield and East Greenbush-Castleton.
Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
And we are back from Great Kills Little League on Staten Island as Penfield Little League will get their first turn at bat here in the bottom half of the first inning. We saw how big it is to jump out to an early lead in our first game here at Great Kills earlier in the day. Massapequa Coast with a 3 spot in the top half of the first inning of that game. That is all they would need. Penfield hoping for similar results here in the bottom half of inning number 1.
And James Glenn, the center fielder, will be leading it off for Penfield, looking to give them that spark here in the bottom of the first. With a 6-inning game, Joe, you have to score early in order to give your team an opportunity.
Glenn steps into the box, and he awaits the first pitch from Tyler Seeberger. And Seeberger delivers a strike. Count 0-1. And the 0-1 is a good breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike 2.
Start for Seeberger early on the first 2 pitches has Glenn down in the count 0-2 now.
I shouldn't be surprised, as we're watching some of the best players in Little League Baseball throughout this region, but when I was this age, I did not see breaking balls like this at CYO.
No, and I'm grateful I didn't.
I'm very grateful, as that's chopped to second. Throw to first over with plenty of time, and Glenn is retired for the game's first out.
Good job by Parkinson there. Had to dig deep in the hole to make the play and flip it on to first for the first out of the inning.
We spoke about it before. Not a lot of solid contact in the first game. There, of course, was the big home run swing, a double down the line, but a lot of ground balls and soft tappers. I think that's a testament to the pitching we've seen here today.
And that's why you get some of the best talent for these games. This is another good pitch from Seaberger to make it now 0-2 once again. We've had for the most part, Joe, in this entire day, have had really good pitching from all of these 8 teams.
If you take away the 1-10-run inning in the South Shore game, the two teams have not combined to score more than, 7 runs in any game?
Mm-hmm.
Strikeout swinging as Murray goes down. Quickly 2 away for Penfield. Jackson Scherson will be the batter, and Scherson takes inside. Scherson, a left-handed batter. At the plate here with the bases empty and 2 away. He takes inside for ball 2.
I was looking up at the scoreboard for the pitch count in the first inning for Hiley. He threw around 13 pitches. Seaberger about to reach pitch number 10 here.
Well, I'll tell you, Nick, over at South Shore, you will not have to worry about looking over your shoulder for the pitch count.
Gotta get the good old knocks.
Right over our shoulder, we have an air-conditioned loft with a couch, table, refrigerator. Nice combinations behind us at South Shore. Here at Great Kills, we have the entire center field plaza to ourselves. As that pitch is taken outside for ball 4, and Scherson draws a 2-out walk.
So good at bat right there from Scherson to get on first base and now give his pitcher, Micah Hiley, an opportunity to add to his pitching total here and give his team an early 2-0 lead, or at least a 1-0 lead with something into the gap.
We've seen a lot of innings begin to develop with 2 outs. As that's hit in the air well out to left center field, but not well enough. As that ball is caught just shy of the warning track. Making that grab on the run was Carter LaGrave, and the side is retired. 2-out walk in the inning for Penfield, nothing more, and we head to the second, scoreless. We are back from Great Kills Little League. Top half of the second inning getting started as that pitch misses inside for ball 1. 4, 5, and 6 due up for East Greenbush-Castleton. Therian, Charlin, Greco. And the 1-0 pitch is in for a called strike. And we said it before, Nick, we haven't seen too many well-struck balls here at Great Kills today since that home run. The last out of that previous half inning, certainly an exception to that.
Did look like Hiley gave a good shot into center with that fly ball, but just stayed a little bit under it to record that final out of that bottom of the first. Now East Greenbush-Castleton will try to add the first run of this game here in the top of the second.
He didn't miss it by very much as that 1-2 pitch misses for ball 2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count on the East Greenbush extra hitter. That's chopped foul. Pitch counts at 18 and 13. 18 for the home squad, 13 for the visitors. Comes number 19 from Hiley. And that's taken for ball 3.
I'm curious to see, Joe, as this game goes on, with a little bit of a breeze going on, will the wind play a factor into some of these hit balls? And that one hit Theriot in the helmet, so he's going to go on first base.
Full count hit batter. That puts the leadoff man on. And Tyler Charlin will be the batter. Charlin getting the start in right field for East Greenbush-Castleton. And he quickly gets ahead 1-0.
Number 99 in right field in New York. Has a nice ring to it.
Last time I saw Aaron Judge was when you and I were seated in a Buffalo Wild Wings. He was crashing into the right field wall, and I don't believe we've seen him since.
We have not, unfortunately.
Charlin was showing bunt there. He pulls it back and takes strike 2.
We saw a lot of that in Game 1, where a lot of potential bunt attempts and nothing went about it. No actual bunts were laid down.
I think you learn a lot about what a team's looking to do if they bunt in a situation like this. Very early in the game, no score, nobody out, and a runner on first. If you're looking to bunt there, I think it's clear you're looking to play with a small ball approach. The question is, was he actually looking to lay one down?
Might be getting a feel of what's coming up to him when it comes to pitch type, so that could be the case.
Certainly won't be bunting here, as not sure if that was a called strike 3 or the batter Charlin offered at the pitch, and that is indeed strike 3 looking. Third strikeout of the game for Hiley. He's off to a nice start, and there's one out.
Charlin gave a half-hearted swing on that one. Goes down looking to record the first out.
And that one is hit well down the right field line, foul. Out of play.
If you're a spectator, you're hoping it goes down the right field line, not down the left field line. But there are not many cars there, as it was in Game 1.
They learned after Game 1. If anyone was here during the first game and watched those foul balls travel down that left field line, they probably moved. Speaking of movement.
As I said, as someone pulls it.
Well, after that foul ball, the outfield for Penfield took several steps to the left. That's blooped on the infield. Foul ball. That one hit right down the first base line.
Another softly hit ball right there. Count will remain 0-2 here.
Sammy Greco in a 2-strike hole. Pitch on the way. And that's on the outside corner for a called strike 3.
Another strikeout for Hiley right there. It's now his 4th. There's 2 away, so 4 of his first 5 outs, Joe, all on punch-outs. So good, strong start for him.
Can't ask for much more than that. The only thing you'd change is the hit batter. That came on a payoff pitch.
That last pitch now put him over 30 on the night, so he's at 31 right now. Make that 32 as the count goes to 2-0.
15 per inning, not a bad pace. That might get you through 6 if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
By the skin of your teeth, perhaps. That 2-0 misses down and away for ball 3, so a walk here would put a runner in scoring position with 2 out. Trenton Sales, the batter. Carter Snavely on deck. And Sales looks at a strike.
Nice gap between the right fielder and the first base line. So if Sales can get something into right, he has an opportunity to potentially bring home that runner from first. Now has a full count here, 3-2.
That pitch back Sales off, but it catches the inside corner. Here comes the 3-2. And did he foul that one off his face?
I think he did, but he seems to be okay.
These are bounces you can only get on turf.
That's the second time now that's happened to East Greenbush.
Now the question is, did it bounce up and hit his face, or did it bounce up and hit the bill of his helmet? Sales couldn't wait to get back in the box, so he appears okay.
Wants to make a big impact right now with one swing. Count still 3-2.
Walk wouldn't hurt either. And that misses outside for ball 4. It didn't look like Sales was sure about it. Highly wanted the call. He didn't get it. And now there are 2 on with 2 away for East Greenbush.
Penfield was starting to run back towards the dugout because they thought that was strike 3. Now first and second with 2 away.
There's a big swing and a miss by Carter Snavely for strike 1. A walk and a hit batter in the inning. And that has opened the door for East Greenbush-Castleton. Here comes the 0-1. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Hiley now 1 strike away from his 5th punch-out of the night already.
Those were 2 healthy cuts by Snavely. And he takes a ball.
That was an interesting choice of...
have we had
nope.
music at all
nope.
or sound effects during at-bats?
After the at-bats. Not during.
And this is technically the road team batting. And that pitch is in for strike 3 called. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Micah Hiley. He strikes out the side, working around a hit batter and a walk. We head to the home second. Still no score.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com.
And we are back from Great Kills Little League on Staten Island. No score and no hits in this game as we head to the bottom half of the second. I thought I'd get that out of the way early, Nick.
Massapequa Coast still has a griping beef with you, Joe, after that first game.
They just might, but they'll forgive me. They picked up the win. Now, do we have their game tomorrow, or do we have the 4 teams we've covered tonight?
We do not have. We have the 4 teams that were at South
earlier.
Shore. Yep.
Okay.
The ones that Dave and Andrew covered for the 2 games, and the 2 that you covered in game 1.
Got it. So Massapequa Coast and their fans will not have to contend.
They'll see you Thursday
with my jinxing tomorrow. As that one's chopped over to first. And stepping on the bag to retire Cash Hogan was Trenton Sales. 1 away here in the home second.
Nice start to the inning for East Greenbush-Castleton as they get 2 pitches to record the first out.
Pitch count, always something to keep an eye on. And right now, pitch count for Tyler Seeberger, pretty low.
It's at 15, and that make it 16 after that first one.
And you'll take that 4 outs deep. There's a big swing and a miss by Zach Gutman for strike. All of a sudden, we're getting sound effects between swings during at-bats. And Gutman looked to bunt there and goes down, officially swinging. Looked to drag that bunt down the first base line to no avail.
So 2 quick outs here for Seeberger here in the bottom of the second. Looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning.
That's the second strikeout for Seeberger. And that one's ripped toward left field, but the catch is made on the run over at short by Des White. That's a quick 1-2-3 inning on the mound for Tyler Seeberger, and we move ahead to the third. Still no score. And we are back from Great Kills Little League. Still no score after a very quick bottom half of the second inning. A couple of 1, 2, 3 innings in this game. One to get things started and one in the bottom half of the second.
So far, I've seen some good pitching from both sides. And as I mentioned earlier, we've seen a lot of that throughout this tournament, throughout the game or day one. Let's see if someone can get on the board here. East Greenbush-Castleton will lead it off here in the top of the third inning, trying to get the first run and the first hits of this game.
Said it before, Nick. You take away that 10 spot by South Shore in the fourth inning of our first game of the day, and the rest of the innings thus far have been very well pitched throughout this first day of the 2023 New York State Little League Baseball Championship. 9, 10, 11 due up for East Greenbush-Castleton. And Eli Parkinson has a leadoff base hit as he slaps one through the left side. Make that the right side. Nick, I'm still spatially disoriented.
I have to tally how many times
Yeah,
you said that tonight.
Not good. That's through the right side. At some point, I'll get it right.
Thankfully for you, tomorrow we're at South Shore, so there won't be any confusion there.
Oh, there will be, because we're in right field tomorrow.
Oh, never mind. I take back my statement.
And I think I made the mistake at least once during the early games, so shame on me. Parkinson on with the leadoff single. Henry Rounds the batter, and Rounds chops that one foul as he quickly falls behind 0-2.
So Parkinson gets the first hit of this game. East Greenbush-Castleton has their second runner on. Can they get the first run of the game?
We've called a lot of baseball and a lot of softball, and we've always called those games from one location, right behind home plate. I've never worked from anywhere else on a baseball or softball broadcast.
We are adjusting.
We'll get there. I promise by Thursday we'll have it. If not by Thursday, maybe by Saturday.
And we were mentioning it during the break, Joe. This will be the last time we see these teams in pool play. The teams that played at South Shore today will be the teams that we will be covering for the next 2 days of pool play. So the next time we potentially see these teams will be on Friday in the semifinal.
Teams that played over at South Shore earlier: Cornwall, Maine Endwell, South Shore, and Plainview, as that one was scorched foul up toward the administrative deck.
You have to watch out up there.
That's for sure. That ball was hit hard. Comes another payoff pitch.
They got to watch out again.
Yeah. Don't lean up against that netting.
No.
Don't get too close.
Not close for comfort right there.
Quite the battle here between Hiley and Rounds.
Hiley now at 49 pitches, Joe. So this is what East Greenbush-Castleton need to do to make them work up in the count.
Seen some good at-bats from the
Fouls off
visitors
another
in
one.
this game, and this battle continues.
So far, one of the best at-bats we've seen in this game. And if he's able to get on, that'd be a huge opportunity for East Greenbush-Castleton to try to bring home the first run.
That's chopped toward third, but foul. And Nick, that is the left side of the infield.
There we go. From our vantage point, it's the right side.
I operate under the misconception that my vantage point is the only one that matters. Though technically our viewers do share my vantage point.
That's true.
So for them, on the wide shot, it's also the left side over at first base, in my defense. Another 3-2 pitch is fouled away. And Nick,
What a battle right now.
do we have a pitch count for this at-bat?
It has to be near 10 pitches.
How many 3-2 pitches have we seen? 4 now?
I think 4 now.
And they've all been fouled off. So at the very least,
This is either pitch 10 or 11.
yeah, at the very least, we have 10 pitches coming up right here.
Add another one.
The visitors' dugout loves it.
I mean, why not? When you have the pitch count going up, it's going to force Hiley to get potentially out of this game early. Now over 50 pitches for the last couple of ones.
And Nick, there's still nobody out in the inning. And that pitch is in for a called strike 3, and it looks like Rounds knew it.
That's nonetheless a great battle from Rounds right now. Down 0-2 in the count, worked it full, fouled off a few pitches, and he might have, Joe, forced a pitching change.
Think you're right about that, Nick. That's going to be all for Micah Hiley.
That's a very productive out.
He struck out 6 batters. Now,
Unless
it looked like he was just sent back to the mound, though the ball was taken from him. So I think we might have a position swap here. We have a new pitcher.
I believe that's number 13.
That's Jackson Shershin. So Shershin, the new pitcher. And Nick, I think we're getting a look at a left-hander for the first time today.
I believe this might be the first time we've seen a southpaw in any of these games. And he's getting the Enter Sandman. Okay.
All right, I'm sure he'll take it.
Okay.
Little early
Okay.
in a 0-0 game, but I'm sure that Shershin will take it. Now, the question is, and does it matter, but how many of these hitters have seen left-handed pitching often?
You don't really see it that often in Little League. I certainly did not see it that often when I played Little League. So for these hitters now, they have to adjust and try to figure out how can they hit him and force him to make some mistakes on the mound.
In Little League, I faced one left-hander during, I think what was a 2 or 3 year CYO career between ages, I think, 9 and 11. And I liked facing left-handers, personally. I actually did feel like I saw the ball better. And I was always one who didn't really trust the command of the other pitchers. As I was a pitcher myself, against the right-handers, I'd back off the plate just a little bit because I didn't trust them not to hit me. And I wasn't taking any chances at that age. If I had taken one to that, who knows if I'd be here today. I can't take those chances.
And think about this now. Look at this. A lefty-lefty matchup. First time we're going to see that in this tournament. So let's see how this at-bat goes. It's the catcher, number 2, Jack Connolly, up at the plate.
First at bat of the game for Connolly. Left-handed batter against left-handed pitcher. And that sails high off the glove of the catcher. Lanning had no chance to corral it, and Parkinson moves up to second.
So East Greenbush-Castleton now has a runner in scoring position. So a hit for Connolly here could bring home Parkinson.
Now, Shershin, during warm-ups, missed with quite a few pitches well upstairs. And you have to think that Parkinson and the East Greenbush-Castleton dugout took notice of that.
And they did, Joe, because look towards your left. Nick Wright, the extra, who was the left fielder at one point, did come out now. It looks like he'll be an extra hitter in this game. He is warming up on the left-hand side of us in the Penfield bullpen.
Showing bunt there was Connolly. And he looks at a ball. Unless we missed the strike signal, we were hesitating. And that is indeed ball 3. So it's a 3-0 count with first base open. And Connolly was taking all the way there as he showed bunt. No chance you try and lay one down here with 1 out and a runner on second.
Cannot risk that right there.
Is he taking all the way again here? There goes Parkinson for third. That pitch was in for a called strike. And Parkinson now stands over at third base. So
heads-up base running from Parkinson.
He's 60 feet away from scoring the game's first run. And that's on the outside corner for a called strike 3. So good job by Shershin to work back into that at-bat from behind 3-0. He picks up the strikeout. And Nick, in this game, East Greenbush-Castleton has struck out looking now 5 times. And those 5 strikeouts have come in their last 7 at-bats.
Some good pitching so far for Penfield. And if they can get it out right here, they will get out of this jam.
Go-ahead run stands over at third base. 2 outs in the inning now. And the number 12 hitter, Andrew Bombard, is the batter. That misses down and away.
If Bombard can get on, the top of the order would be up for East Greenbush-Castleton.
And you have to think this is a huge out for Penfield in this spot. You don't want to send it back to the top of the order. And now they're a strike away from escaping danger here in this 3rd inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on the East Greenbush-Castleton extra hitter. That misses away. Parkinson, the runner over at third base, led the inning off with a single. Advanced on a pair of wild pitches. As that's chopped to short, deep in the hole. Long throw. Not in time. And the game's first run comes in to score. Andrew Bombard comes through with a ground ball RBI single. And East Greenbush-Castleton has taken a 1-run lead.
A tough play at short for Lucas Murray, leading to that first run of the game.
We'll get another look at it in just a moment now. That pitch sails to the backstop. Runner headed for second. And in safely is Bombard as we get another look at that last base hit. There you see how deep in the hole that one was hit. And I think they got the call right over at first, Nick, but it was awfully close.
Definitely a close call there at first base. And now Bombard is at second. And now Des White has an RBI opportunity here. 2 away.
3 wild pitches in the inning.
Make that 4.
Or not. The ricochet, Nick.
Ricochet saved him on that one.
Spoke about that during game 1. Some hard bounces off that backstop. Now, it looks like the backstop is padded, but I believe there is a brick wall behind that padding. There certainly is a brick wall to the right of the padding, as that pitch missed badly down low, and the count runs to 3-0.
And if we were to walk White here, I'm curious to see, would Penfield force another pitching change?
There's a strike. Well, the wild pitches right now are the reason that a run has scored. Parkinson moved up 2 bases on wild pitches. He should be on second right now, were it not for wild pitches. And Bombard should be over at first. So this inning could look very different if it weren't for the command issues for Penfield pitching.
Time out on the field as they're allowing Nick Wright and the rest of his teammates to come off as he is done with his warm-ups. So he is ready if needed.
A larger crowd has gathered here beyond the center field fence. Bigger crowd than we've seen all day as that's hit well. Deep to left field and off the wall. Heading home with the second East Greenbush-Castleton run is Bombard. And in with an RBI double is Des White. It's now 2-0 visitors.
Des White with a big-time shot into center field for an RBI double to give his team now a 2-0 lead here in the top of the third inning.
That ball was hit well, Nick. And now those wild pitches don't matter as much with that big double. Second run in to score off the bat of Des White. And East Greenbush-Castleton now leads at 2-0 as you get a second look at that last RBI base hit. Big 2-out hit for White.
And a nice rally here for East Greenbush to put the first 2 runs on this game on the board. Look to add another one right here.
That pitch is in for strike. Tyler Seeberger, the batter. He now has 2 runs of run support and a very low pitch count. Something to keep in mind. As that's chopped toward first, waiting for it over at first and unable to make the flip in time was the first baseman. Now, there was a defensive realignment, so we have a new first baseman in the game. Now at first is Blake Drews. There was no one covering. He looked to flip, and there was nowhere to flip the ball to. So we'll see how they score that one. I think it has to go down as a hit, Nick.
I think you have no choice but to mark that down as a hit.
That
it was a soft chopper to that first base, and it wasn't a play for the pitcher and for the second baseman. So, unfortunately for Penfield, goes down as an infield single, and it's going to lead to a pitching change.
So Shershin is done. And the wild pitches really hurt him. That prolonged the inning, forced him to work a bit harder, and then came the double. And that made it a 2-run game. That last tapper very easily could have gone for an out, but there was no one covering first base.
And now for Penfield, you have now Nick Wright, who we saw warming up. He's going to come into the game with first and third, 2 outs. Just needing to get 1 out to get out of this inning and keep it a 2-run game.
Third pitcher of the inning for Penfield. And Nick, let's go back just a bit. It seems like ages ago now. But that at-bat where we had a lengthy battle.
About an 11 or 12 pitch at bat by Henry Rounds.
Yep.
I said it at the time. It was a very productive out. He got the pitcher knocked out of the game and forced a pitching change.
That could ultimately prove to be a turning point in this game, Nick. That at bat really forced the starter, Micah Hiley, to work very hard for Penfield. That ultimately chased him from the game. Now, he still had some pitches to spare, but a question becomes in these early pool play games, how far do you want to push your starting pitchers?
It's really tough because if you lose one game, you put yourself in that hole of being 0-1 in the bracket and having to win 2 in a row. You obviously want your pitchers to go a good amount of distance in these games, but when they have, at bats like that where batters are battling off 11 to 12 pitches, something like that during one at bat, it forces your hand and says, you know what, I might have to take him out early because we might need him down the road.
We've been monitoring the live chat throughout the day during the early games, and the Penfield contingent, very confident entering this tournament. The Massapequa Coast contingent, confident bunch as well. Dave monitoring some very extensive live chat during the first couple of games while I was on the call. Didn't have access to my phone. Here now, I can see my phone clearly and have a chance to review some of the live chat. Action set to resume here. New pitcher into the game, and very quickly, that's it sharply on the ground. Diving stop at second, and they get the out there. What a play on the dive by Cash Hogan. He saves a base hit and potentially may have saved a run as the side is retired. And with a runner on third, Nick, he certainly did save a run.
Absolutely right there. That's a huge play for Penfield to get out of the inning, keep this game 2-0, heading into the bottom of the third. Let's see if Penfield can come back and tie this game at least, or make it a one-run game.
2-0 in favor of the visitors. We head to the bottom half of the third inning here at Great Kills.
Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
And we are back from Great Kills Little League on Staten Island. East Greenbush-Castleton opened the scoring in the top half of this third inning. Penfield Little League now comes to bat in the bottom half. They will send 8, 9, and 10 to the plate against Tyler Seeberger, who had a 1-2-3 second, was given a 2-run lead, and he quickly has the first out here in the third.
I like the slide attempt right there. Try to get on first base by Dominic Fontegrossi, but unfortunately was thrown out for the first out of this inning.
Now the infield is turf. The outfield is grass. Not easy to slide on turf, Nick.
Gotta appreciate the hustle.
No question. Fontegrossi retired for the first out. At the plate here will be Owen Dan. He was able to hold the swing there. Or not. As they appeal over to first base, Dan can't believe it, and he's now in a 2-strike hole.
Well, now for Dan, he'll have to make sure he protects the plate here, being down 0-2 quickly in this count.
Seeberger's had some very quick innings in this game, as that pitch just missed outside, and
could have made the case for strike 3 right there.
The EGC contingent to our left wanted that one. Comes the 1-2. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And Seeberger has his third punch out.
So far, cruising through this game. He's now at 25 pitches, Joe, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. So like you said, he is making quick pace of this Penfield lineup.
Number 10 hitter, George Teich at the plate. And Teich is quickly behind 0-1. And it looks like that was swung on and missed and just hit off the glove of the catcher, but regardless, it's quickly 0-2.
Another opportunity here for Seaberger to get a strikeout. Get another quick inning.
That one's fouled back. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Seaberger looking for a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning here in the third. And he's got it. As that swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tyler Seaberger. He's retired 7 straight, and his team will take a 2-0 lead into the 4th inning. And we are back from Great Kills Little League as we get set to begin the top half of the 4th inning. East Greenbush-Castleton Little League over Penfield Little League by a score of 2-0. Another quick 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Seaberger on the mound, Nick, and he's kept his pitch count incredibly low early in this game.
29 pitches to be exact, Joe, for Seaberger, going through 3 innings. He's not even averaging 10 pitches an inning at the current moment, so it has been a great performance from him. 3 innings away for giving his team a win.
For East Greenbush-Castleton, here in the top half of the 4th, 4, 5, and 6 due up. Therian, Charlin, Greco.
Normal cases would be the heart of the order, but not with this amount of batters in the lineup.
Nick Wright back to the mound for Penfield. He quickly gets ahead of Therian, 0-1 on the swing and miss, and make it 0-2 on that swing and miss.
2 big swings and misses right there. And Wright quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
Now, Nick.
That one's fouled off.
Has someone listened to us over at CSI? They're letting us know that we have that dog in us. Have they listened to us before? That's one of our running bits.
I don't know. Could be. I have heard that we do have that dog indeed in us.
Well, that was specifically about you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm talking about the bit. The bit was that you have that dog in you. That was the running joke.
Massapequa might have been thinking about that after that double play ball.
They were definitely a fan of yours. You mentioned the double play. Say it, so it shall be. Straight out of the mouth of Nick Pavona. Comes another 0-2 pitch. And that misses low. Here comes the 1-2. And just getting a piece there was Therian.
Therian staying alive, but this could be another big crucial at bat if he's able to work the count. Still 1-2, has fouled off a couple pitches. Can he work the count like his counterpart Henry Rounds did earlier in that previous inning for them?
That pitch misses. Count now even at 2. Where is that vuvuzela coming from?
I don't know. We did not hear that in Game 1.
It sounds like it's coming from behind us. Now, we don't know if that's a campground behind us, a community pool.
I saw a pool and I wanted to jump in it.
I certainly could have went for that earlier. As that ground ball is hit to short, throw to first in time. And Therian is retired for the first out of the inning.
a long out number 1 for Penfield as it took a couple pitches to get the batter out. And now I'll bring up the right fielder, Tyler Charlin.
Well, in this game, East Greenbush-Castleton has done a good job hitting with 2 strikes. Not going down easily at the plate. And something we've spoken about throughout the day, something that keeps coming up and something that will come up again throughout the rest of the week, the importance of running up the pitch count of these pitchers. And, of course, the importance of winning your first game in pool play.
We saw so far how big it's been for the 3 teams that did win today. And will play a big factor into their games tomorrow. With some of those teams being down 0-1 in the standings, they really need some wins.
Pitch on its way, and that misses out of the zone. So what we'll do ahead of tomorrow, we'll make sure we have graphics ready with how each team performed today. We'll be ready to go tomorrow here at Great Kills in the morning. Andrew and Dave will have the call. And Nick, you and I in prime time once again. Tomorrow we'll be over at South Shore.
Should be a fun night at South Shore. Okay, my first action, I should say, for those teams, as there's a strikeout for Wright to record the second out.
He got Charlin to chase up the ladder on that pitch. Seen a lot of strikeouts in this game. That's the 8th strikeout for East Greenbush-Castleton pitching. And now Sammy Greco will be the batter. And he takes ball 1. Greco 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Went down looking in his first at bat. And he pops this one up. High on the infield. And falling to his knees to make the catch was Hogan, but he holds on. And the inning is over. 1-2-3 inning for Nick Wright on the mound. Nicely done by the reliever for Penfield. And his team will come to bat, trailing by a pair in the home half of inning number 4.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com.
Bottom of the 4th inning coming up from Great Kills Little League. 2-0 in favor of the visitors. East Greenbush-Castleton with the lead, and that's lined out toward left center where the catch is made on the move by Sammy Greco for the first out. A hard first out off the bat of Blake Drews.
But once again for Seaberger, he gets a 1-pitch, 1 out. Only at 30 pitches now after that recorded first out.
Now we have a swim club behind us. We've been told it's open until 10 p.m. That's where the Vuvuzela is coming from. Not sure what they're doing with the Vuvuzela, but they're making some noise.
I'll meet them at the pool, Joe. Don't worry. I'll figure it out.
We're running out of time. If this game's not done in the next half hour, 40 minutes, we're too late.
I'll do some off the field reporting from the pool.
That's an enviable job. I might be willing to take on that one. Nick Wright at the plate. And that skips to the backstop as Wright gets ahead 2-1.
Wright, the new pitcher for Penfield, trying to get on base and try to help his own cause. As the team currently trailing 2-0 with the top of the order on deck.
That last 1-2-3 inning from Wright was the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for Penfield pitching since the first.
And for one of the first times we've seen in this game, Joe, Penfield working a count, now 3-1 for Wright.
Seaberger hasn't gotten behind many hitters, and I think that might have been ball 4 right there that Wright just offered at.
Now the count going to full at 3-2 after that foul ball.
Payoff pitch is down and away for ball 4. And Penfield gets on with a 1-out walk.
I believe now, the second time tonight, Joe, that Penfield has been on base. Now they're at the top of the order at the plate with the tying run also. So a chance for Penfield with one swing, but a bunt attempt before strike 1.
Now, do you bunt here down by 2?
I'm not a fan of the call, but I can maybe see it just because you have the 2, 3, and 4 right after. But there would be 2 outs.
Well, Glenn didn't show bunt, but East Greenbush-Castleton charging in on the infield as if they thought a bunt was forthcoming.
That's going to spark now a mound visit for East Greenbush-Castleton.
We'll see what Penfield looks to do here. Thus far during this at-bat, they've given no indication they're going to bunt.
It really depends on the speed of Glenn. If he has really good wheels and can get to first base on a bunt single, then you bring the go-ahead run at the plate.
You have to respect the bunt, but over at third, charging in very hard earlier in the at-bat was Greco. At least I believe that's him over at third now. They may have shuffled around the defensive alignment. Tough to tell from here. I need the binoculars. As that pitch is in for a called third strike, and that's a big first out. As Glenn goes down looking.
Brings up now Lucas Murray here.
That's still Carter Snavely over at third, Nick. That's a 21, not a 23. Greco remains in left field. Lucas Murray coming to the plate.
Now Nick Wright, the pitcher, was taken out as they now have a pinch runner at first base. That is number 2.
So they pinch ran with the last batter to make an out. Unless I missed something.
That's what I would think. Glenn was the one that struck out.
He certainly was called out on strikes.
So maybe to prevent an injury for your pitcher, they took him off the bases.
So you're probably allowed to run for the pitcher. That's probably a Little League rule. We haven't seen that come into play yet today, but if I had to guess, that's the rule.
You do usually see that with catchers.
Right,
So,
catchers as well.
Yeah.
So perhaps the rule applies to catchers with 2 outs maybe?
maybe.
But I think because Wright was the pitcher, they were allowed to run for him with Glenn. Count even here at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Lucas Murray. Seaberger delivers, and Murray chased that pitch well out of the zone. And they throw over to first to complete the putout for the final out in the 4th inning. East Greenbush-Castleton maintains a 2-run lead as we move ahead to inning number 5. Top half of the 5th inning from Great Kills Little League here on Staten Island. East Greenbush-Castleton maintaining a 2-run lead. Nick, it's about that time, 2/3 of the way through the game.
I thought you were going to wait till the next half inning.
I couldn't help myself, but
Oh, no.
we'll see how I'm feeling when we come back from the next break, as that's hit sharply to short. Handled cleanly, low throw, and scoop unsuccessful over at first base. As that throw was low from over at shortstop, And Murray will be charged with the error on that throw.
So a chance for East Greenbush-Castleton now to make them pay for it with a runner on first.
So Trenton Sales reaches to lead off the road 5th inning. Carter Snavely will be the batter. He shows bunt, and he pulls it back. And what do you think about a bunt in this spot? Do you do it up 2 runs?
This I like because you can move him into scoring position. And we saw how Parkinson and Rounds were in their last at bat. We saw Parkinson get a hit. So that ball goes to the backstop. That'll be a wild pitch. It will allow the runner to go to second. Now, a bunt looks even better here to move the runner 60 feet away from scoring. I'm wondering now if there's going to be a pitching change.
Earlier in the game, back in the 3rd inning, we spoke about how big the wild pitches were in getting things going for East Greenbush-Castleton. The double ultimately negated the impact of those wild pitches. But before that 2-out extra base hit, the wild pitches were looming large. And here again, a wild pitch moves a runner into scoring position. And right now, it seems the wild pitch is the Achilles heel for Penfield because they've done a lot of other things very well.
Yeah, Penfield still is in this game, and that's the thing about it. We saw in that first game with Saratoga, a lot of things went against them, and yet they were still in the game and were able to keep it close and almost make a rally. So for Penfield, they have to realize it's still a 2-run game. There's still a chance.
Penfield pitching in this game has piled up the strikeouts. I believe the tally when we checked last was 8. And the tally, I believe, is still 8. But we've seen some good defensive plays in the field in addition to those strikeouts. But the wild pitches have been problematic.
That last pitch for Wright was his 20th out of relief. So he is getting up there in the pitch count.
And they do lay down a bunt. It's a good one by Snavely, and the throw gets away. It's down the right field line. A run will come in to score. And sliding into second base safely is Snavely. An error on the throw brings home the 3rd run of the game for East Greenbush-Castleton. They now lead it 3-0.
Costly mistake once again for Penfield right there, as that error brings home the 3rd run of the game for EGC. They now have a 3-run lead and now another runner in scoring position.
Now, Nick, where was that error made?
That error was made by the pitcher.
Got it. And that's a huge error to bring home the run. Takes away a chance for your pitcher to get out of this inning unscored upon.
For Snavely, that was just a well-executed bunt down that first base line. That was a tough play for Wright to make the throw. I'm not sure, Joe, if you would have had him in time, even if it was a good throw.
The chat likes the bunt, and Penfield apparently goes by the same nickname as the CSI Dolphins.
Okay.
Cardiac Kids.
Okay.
Apparently, this is familiar territory. They still have 6 outs to play with.
Well, if you're a Penfield fan, and if Joe does say the statement he does in the next half inning, if you're
Do
an
I do
EGC,
it?
if you're an EGC fan, you won't like what he says. But if you're a Penfield fan, you might like it.
It's coming.
I might have forced the hand of Joe Foreman now to say it.
You didn't have to force me. I was going to.
It was
going to
happen either way.
It was happening anyway.
I tried, EGC fans. I tried.
You'll have to wait. I'm all about those ratings, Nick. And we have a close game in the last couple of innings where Penfield's battling back and gets up on the scoreboard for the first time and makes this a bit closer. Those numbers go up, and our sponsors like that. As the runner will advance to third on yet another wild pitch. Or was that a pass ball? That one might have hit the glove.
It might have tipped the glove, so I'm willing to give that a pass ball.
We'll put wild pitch / pass ball and go back to the video later.
Okay. Count now full 3-2.
And the payoff pitch is in for a called third strike, and that's a big out. With a runner on third and less than 2 away, Nick, I always say the same thing. You have to find a way to get that run in. And Parkinson could not right there.
Well, here's now Henry Rounds. We saw what he did his first time up with a 12-pitch at bat. Did end up striking out, but did force a pitching change, which has been a big reason why EGC currently has their lead.
Rounds officially 0 for 1, struck out looking his first time. So apparently we've been told the numbers we were given on the roster are wrong, and that Wright is not pitching according to the live chat. So
Okay.
we're being told by the live chat that Wright is wearing 50. Do we have a 50 at all on the roster? So we have Dominic Fantagrossi as 50. So perhaps there was a late jersey swap that we're unaware of. So we do apologize if that was the case, but if that did happen, it was not brought to our attention. And once again, it's a 3-ball count, Nick, so a walk here might not be the worst thing, but we said it all day. Double play is just so tough to come by. There's a wild pitch. But the runner will hold.
Now the count is 3-1. I jumped the gun just a second there, Joe. But you're right. I'm not sure what that sound was.
Was that from the speaker?
I think it was.
So it was a 2-ball count ahead of that last pitch as that swung on and missed for strike 3. So our count was off by a strike. Rounds goes down swinging, and things are escalating quickly here. I'm not sure what's going on.
There are a lot of noises being made.
I'm not sure what's going on the sound system, but someone's having some fun. Now 2 away in the inning, and if you're Penfield and you can strand this runner over at third, that's a big victory.
Keep it a 3-run game.
That one sliced off the visitor's dugout.
I thought you did it again, Joe. I thought there was another jinxing moment right there. But for Penfield, that one would foul.
So according to the live chat, that I'm sure is more familiar with the roster and the players than we are, they believe Owen Dan might be pitching. And indeed, they confirm that Owen Dan is the pitcher. So Owen Dan is wearing number 63 tonight. We had Owen Dan as number 51, so perhaps Nick Wright could be wearing 51, or perhaps Dominic Fantagrossi could be wearing 51.
Make sure to have that fixed for tomorrow with Dave and Andrew on the call.
I'll let them know. Good luck, Dave and Andrew.
For a multitude of reasons.
So that pitch is taken for ball 4. So it's a 2-out walk, runners on the corners, and that's not the worst thing. It sets up a force at second.
Yep. Gives you a chance at 2 bases to get the out. So with the bottom of the order and Andrew Bomber now coming up, he'll have an opportunity to try to increase this lead for EGC here at the top of the 5th.
That's sliced foul. So the live chat seems to know what numbers everyone is wearing. Those are not the numbers we were given. So we'll have to double check. Now, Joe, could you perhaps help us with rosters? The live chat is saying that a lot of the numbers on the Penfield jerseys are not correct.
Jack Connolly coming out of the game as he's going to be pitch run.
We'll try and get it sorted out for tomorrow. As I mentioned, Nick and I don't have Penfield again until potentially Friday. Count 0-2. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Penfield hoping to strand runners on the corners and keep this a 3-run game. Some extra insurance for EGC stands 60 feet away. And that catches the outside corner for a called strike 3. Big strikeout by Owen Dan to bring the inning to a close. He strands a pair on base, but East Greenbush-Castleton extends their lead to 3, and we head to the bottom half of the 5th.
Attention, local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
And we're back here from Great Kills Little League. Our roster situation was sorted out. We have a roster with incorrect names matched to the numbers. The lineup card was correct. We had numbers and positions minus the names, so our incorrect roster was used to fill in the names. We will take care of that ahead of tomorrow's coverage and make sure it doesn't happen again. As it looks like some of the names were correct and others were not, so that's very unusual. Haven't had that issue all day, but everything's taken care of, and we will refer to the lineup card the rest of the way.
Now, Joe, it is the bottom of the 5th inning. You said you were going to say something. For those East Greenbush-Castleton fans, are you going to say it?
Let's give it an at-bat.
Okay.
We'll give it one at-bat here. See how it goes. Leading things off here in the home 5th, the number 3 hitter, Jackson Shershin. And he swings and misses for strike 3.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for.
The Vuvuzela?
Well, we've had that all game.
My first question, Nick, how many pitches has Tyler Seaberger thrown?
He's now at 50.
Okay, so he has a lot of bullets left in the chamber as we head toward the conclusion of this game. He could certainly make it through 6. Now I'm going to ask you another question. How many hits is he allowed?
I don't think I want to answer that question, Joe. I see what you try. I see what you're trying to do.
I was trying to set you up for it.
You were trying to set
I will
me up.
answer the question. It is 0. We made it through 4 with a no-hit bid in Game 1. I mentioned it. The next swing went for a hit. If I do it again right here, I'll leave.
There's 3 straight hits right after you said it.
No hit there as that one sails up high over the head of Micah Hiley. But nonetheless, 5 outs away from a hitless effort on the mound as that's hit to third. And getting his foot down on the bag in time over at first base was Sales. Nice reach as well to leap up and pull that one in. There are now 2 outs in the inning.
Good job by Sales to go up, grab it, and then step on the bag to acquire the the second out now of this inning. And now Seaberger is 1 out away for keeping this a 3-0 game going into the top of the 6th.
Nick, I thought I did it again when that ball was hit right down the line.
I thought you did too.
I'm feeling a bit more confident now.
Every swing now, it gets more and more interesting.
That pitch misses low.
I'm wondering if we heard that also in Game 1. I don't think we did.
It sounds like the Vuvuzela has moved behind home plate now.
It does sound like it.
I thought it was behind us earlier as that pitch is taken inside by Cash Hogan. He's ahead 2 balls and 1 strike. East Greenbush-Castleton 4 outs away from a victory in their first game of pool play as that catches the corner for a called strike 2. Seaberger now a strike away from his third 1-2-3 inning of the game. That's fouled back.
Hogan trying to keep the inning going for Penfield right here, keeping the count at 2-2.
That's hit in the air, out to right field, and Charland is there to make the catch. And Nick, we are through 5. The shutout is intact. What else is intact?
Sounds like you want to say something else, Joe.
I won't. We'll head to break. Our score 3-0.
They can see the number.
East Greenbush-Castleton over Penfield. And we are back here on the PDF Sports Network. Top half of the sixth inning about to get underway. East Greenbush-Castleton maintaining a 3-run lead as we enter what could be the final inning of this game on day one of pool play here at the 2023 New York State Little League Baseball Championship. First pitch here in the sixth. Misses high for ball one.
Des White will lead it off for EGC, the top of the order. White, Seeberger, and LaGrave.
1, 2, 3 as EGC looks for some insurance. And you're right, Nick. EGC is much easier.
Very easy to say.
Very easy.
Rolls right off the tongue.
It does. That one's ripped foul.
We saw White last time up. Had a big-time RBI double into center field. So he's a dangerous at-bat at top of this order for EGC. Still ahead in the count now, 2-1.
Owen Dan remains in the game on the mound for Penfield. He's put in some good work for them in relief. Falls behind here, 3-1 against White. White doubled in a run his last time up. And that ball is crushed deep to right field and gone. Des White with a long solo home run. And with that, EGC extends their lead to 4.
Big time shot from White. I spoke about it earlier in the at-bat. He had a big double into center that gave the team lead at 2 at that point. This time hitting a home run to make it now a 4-0 game.
And Nick, that was a no-doubter if I've ever seen one. That ball was crushed. That's as well struck of a ball as we've seen since our first game of the day over at South Shore. And that's going to do it for Owen Dan. And Dan was asked to record a lot of outs in this game. He pitched pretty well. Score now 4-0, East Greenbush-Castleton over Penfield. And the hill for the home team to climb just got a bit steeper as we get another look at that home run. And there you see it. Great job on camera, Nick, to catch up to that one.
I got there quickly.
That ball was smoked. You had to do the swivel really quick, but you got there. And I said right field correctly this time.
You did.
First time tonight.
Is a first for everything, Joe.
New pitcher into the game, as we mentioned. Number 51, George Teich, will come in to pitch. Left-handed pitcher for Penfield. He will look to keep this a 4-run game and give his team a chance within striking distance entering the bottom half of this 6th inning.
And another lefty for this Penfield team. So we saw earlier with the Shershin coming in. Now we see another lefty here. And now a 4-run lead for EGC off that home run. They've got to feel very confident now getting that insurance run here early in the top of the 6th inning.
That ball skips to the backstop on that warm-up toss, and we've said it all night, Nick. Wild pitches time and time again. Factoring in to some innings for East Greenbush-Castleton. And we're about set to resume action. Tyler Seeberger will be the batter. I'd be shocked if he doesn't return to the mound for the bottom half of the 6th.
I wonder why you say that.
First pitch on its way from Teich, and that misses low. Seeberger at the plate here, 1 for 2 in the game. Grounded out his first time up, singled in his second at-bat. That's chopped to the right side, handled at second, and Hogan makes the throw to first in time to retire Seeberger for the first out.
That was a close out at first base. Seeberger was running down the line, just getting the out in time. A nice bounce back for Penfield right there to record out number 1.
You love to see the hustle. Even with a 4-run lead late in this game. And we've said it many times already today, but winning your first game puts you in such an advantageous position moving forward. much easier to win 1 out of 2 than to win back-to-back games, especially against 2 of the best teams in the region.
It puts your team at a disadvantage because you said it. You have to win 2 in a row, and it puts a lot of pressure on you to win those 2 games in order to get to that semifinal on Friday.
That pitch misses outside. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
But games like this, Joe, can give your team a chance to think about what were the mistakes and how can we fix them as these next days come alive and have an opportunity to fix them and try to get to Friday.
There's a good breaking ball there from Teich. That's chopped foul. One and 2 upcoming. Long look in from Teich. Pitch on its way. That's hit well to left, but getting just a bit under that was Carter LaGrave, and he is retired for the second out.
Good job by LaGrave right there to track that one down to record the second out of the inning.
Now, according to our chat, we have some players entering the conversation from the dugout.
Okay. Okay.
Not in there under their own names, though. The account is of someone else. Now, I believe it's Tyler Seaberger speaking to us, if that is indeed him. Says he's got to go back out and finish the job.
Well, then you shouldn't say to Tyler what you were trying to say that previous half inning.
Oh, I think he's the first one who's going to say it. You know, he knows. And this is one that, should he complete the bid for the no-hitter, he's going to watch it back. I think he'll still watch back even if the bid fails.
He certainly has pitched a masterpiece here tonight.
As long as his team picks up the win.
As they say, Joe, there is no I in team.
That's right. Alex Therian at the plate. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's fouled back.
But, Joe, there is an I in win, and that's what EGC is looking to do right here. 3 outs away from getting their first win of this tournament.
There's also a W in win.
There is.
More importantly, get that W. As that pitch misses low, and we have another full count, 3-2. Have some parents sitting around us as well. Now, if cowbells are overrated, what noise-making devices are the go-to? The chat is saying cowbells are overrated.
See, I don't know, because if you're a fan of that SNL skit like I am, you need a little bit more cowbell. I don't know.
I wish I got the reference. As Therian draws a 2-out walk.
I'm hopeful that most of the chat has got that reference.
Still 2 away here in the 6th. And that pitch catches the outside corner. Thundersticks are a good one.
Thundersticks are a good one.
However, where we come from, in a college gymnasium, those are banned.
They are.
We can't give them out to the kids.
We did one time, and it was quickly taken away.
And then they were given back.
And then, yeah.
A defiant coordinator of outside activities for the kids who come visit. Two balls and 2 strikes the count. Tyler Sharland. And he looks at a called strike 3 on the breaking ball. So Teich picks up the strikeout. He strands a runner over at first. And we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. East Greenbush-Castleton leads Penfield by a score of 4-0.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com.
And we are back from Great Kills Little League. There you see it on your screen, 4-0. East Greenbush-Castleton heading to the home half of inning number 6. The no-hitter still intact, Nick.
I did it again.
EGC 3 outs away from a big win, but if they could keep that 0 in the hit column, I think Tyler Seaberger and the visitors will take it.
It would add just a little bit more emphasis on the win, to say the least.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
Seaberger will face 6, 7, and 8 here in the 6th.
Chat is very active right now.
Chat on fire tonight.
I see one of our colleagues here at PDF, Louis Matrone, in chat.
When Comeback Kid enters the chat, you know things are beginning to pick up. As that pitch is chopped foul, and it's quickly 0-2.
Quickly an 0-2 count for Seaberger right here. Looking to get a quick out number 1.
And that's hit out to left and over the outstretched glove of the left fielder. I said it last inning, Nick. It's not my fault.
Okay. I won't bring it up. But that's a big double for Penfield here. Now, looking to get back into this game. Runner on second. Nobody out. Can they make a rally and try to make this one interesting?
And Gutman heading for third. There's nobody covering. That ball ends up in left field. And Gutman will score. It's 4-1. How about that?
Well, just like we saw in Game 1, Joe, it got very interesting in the later parts of that game. Now we're starting to see a little bit of some interesting things happening here in the later parts of this game. As Penfield finally is on the board now, 4-1. Looking to add more and tie this game.
They're already calling jinx in the chat, Nick. I brought it up last inning, so that does not qualify.
It wasn't as bad as the first one.
And that ball is hit well to left once again, but this time the catch is made. That's Andrew Bombard out in left field for EGC. They made some changes in the field. Sammy Greco got the start in left field, but that's Bombard out there now. And that's 2 well-struck balls to open up this inning. That last one by Jonathan Lanning.
And I think, Joe, because of that, it's going to lead to a pitching change, and that it will. But a great effort from Tyler Seaberger here, allowing just the 1 hit.
And he will get a well-deserved ovation as he heads back to the dugout. He has put his team in a position to win this game, just 2 outs away from picking up a win in their first game of pool play here on day 1 of the 2023 New York State Little League Baseball Championship. And it looked like Carter LaGrave was headed to the dugout. Now, I don't know if he's heading to the dugout to take over at pitcher or if they're shuffling players around. It certainly looked like he was coming in to pitch. Do they have a pitch count on the board? They erased the pitch count off the board.
I tried to look for it. It was too late.
You had to think he was probably in the high 60s?
I would say high 60s, maybe nearing 70. Maybe he did hit 70. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think he was that close to 85.
No.
But a great effort nonetheless. And LaGrave is indeed in to pitch. 2 outs away for EGC. 8, 9, and 10 looming for Penfield as they look to put together a late rally and come back in this one. They need at least 3 more. A lot of warm-up tosses here for LaGrave, who had to locate what appeared to be a different glove out of the dugout. So they're giving him his time to get warm.
Seaberger was the one that was taken out. He's now in center field for LaGrave. So he will play the field for the final 2 outs potentially of this game. Penfield will look to make sure that does not happen and try to tie it or maybe walk it off. But they'll need a rally here with 1 away.
In the game for Seaberger, 7 strikeouts. He allowed just the 1 hit, 2 walks, and a fantastic effort for the East Greenbush-Castleton starter. He's about maybe 40 or 50 feet from us now, playing center field. Carter LaGrave will look to close the door, and his first pitch is in for a strike.
Count is 2-0, Joe. I thought they called that ball.
It looked like you had ball on the screen. I thought
did.
I heard a verbal call.
I did have a ball. And then you said that, and I was very confused. Count is now 3-0. That's a 4-pitch walk.
Well, that's not what you're looking for out of the bullpen.
And I don't know if they're trying to on purpose play this music, but if another runner gets on for Penfield, they have the tying run at the plate.
Well, that started about second or third inning of this game. We started getting a soundtrack during play. We didn't get that in game 1 unless I just missed it.
I don't remember it in game 1. And
so now I have to go back to the lineup card because I know we have some issues with the roster on our scorecards here. So let's go back to the lineup card.
And early on, LaGrave having some command issues. So once again, he's behind 2-0.
Over at first base is Nick Wright. He drew that walk. Count 2 balls and 1 strike here on George Teich. And that's in at the knees for a called strike 2.
Strike away from out number 2 in this bottom of the 6th.
And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So way to bounce back from the 4-pitch walk as the Vuvuzelas are now on the property and about 20 feet to our left.
We have found the culprits.
Strikeout swinging for LaGrave as he sets down Teich. And Penfield is down to their final out as we're going to have pinch runner over first. Jonathan Lanning will head over to first base. So the leadoff single, the roster that we had so many errors on it. That was Dom Fantagrossi with the leadoff single in this inning. That was not Zach Gutman, so that's my mistake. And we will have the roster sorted out for tomorrow. Not sure where we got that roster from. We'll have to do some digging. The other 7 had no errors.
7 out of 8. It's good enough.
Not
average,
good enough. It needs to be 8 out of 8.
Quickly a 3-0 count here.
That's in for strike.
1 more ball, and it would make it first and second with the tying run at the plate for Penfield.
And that's hit out to left center field where the catch is made by Seaberger for the final out of the game. And, Nick, you said it. How fitting, as that will do it. East Greenbush-Castleton closes the door on Penfield Little League. They pick up the win on this first day of pool play in the 2023 New York State Little League Baseball Championship.
Big-time win for EGC, going out with a 4-1 win in the final game of today's first day of pool play. Des White, what a day at the plate for him. Had the RBI double to make it 2-0. Added to the team's lead with that solo shot to make it 4-0 at that point. And Tyler Seaberger, what much more can you say about his pitching performance in this game? Had a no-hitter going into that 6th inning. Unfortunately, allowed that first hit, and it allowed a run to go in. But Seaberger and White were the big 2 stars for EGC in this win over Penfield. They go to 1-0 now in this tournament.
And with that, we wrap up our day 1 coverage here from Great Kills Little League. We were treated to a pair 3-run games today. 5-2 in Game 1, 4-1 here in Game 2. Only 6 hits in this game. We saw a lot of good pitching in this one, but the offense was on the side of East Greenbush-Castleton this evening. Their 5 hits were enough as they win the game by 3. Our final score, 4-1. So for my broadcast partner, Nick Bavona, this has been Joe Foreman. We will rejoin you tomorrow night from South Shore Little League for the 5 p.m. game and the 8 p.m. game tomorrow morning. Dave Pizzuto and Andrew Rotundo will be here at Great Kills for the 2 morning games. Be sure to tune in for both of those right back here on the PDF Sports Network. Until then, everyone have a good night.